Hello, welcome to the latest episode of Through the Pages. Today we have an author that's been on here a couple times, I think. Teju Cole, Black Paper. So, I didn't know what to expect really with this essay. I think any expectations I had were very off. It is most similar to his book Known and Strange Things. So, originally when I started the channel, I was doing like month episodes. So I would just recap all the books I read in a month. So I think there's some of his stuff in there, some solo as well, solo videos like what I do now. But Known and Strange Things was all just kind of like reviews, and so Black Paper kind of follows suit. It's not as open-ended, I would say. It has a little bit more like cohesive nature to it. There's a lot of him sort of exploring Caravaggio's work and his quest to see those in person and what he would feel when he sees them and why he's seeking them. And so there's parts where he'll start a section writing and you don't know like what the purpose of it is. You know, like, is this a review? Is this just an essay? Is this just like a journal entry? You know, and I think I like his writing for that. Like, because there's so often it feels like I'm just like in a compass and I can't see the north, south, east, west, that I'm just like in it. And that's where I feel like with his writing, I'm just there, I'm just observing and enjoying the present beauty of it. And then what it unfolds to is where I see the like mastery, where it can have like a 12-page essay and it's the last page and a half that begin to discuss the work that he's reviewing. Where all the preamble to that is his emotions, things that come to mind when he sees it, and kind of building back to that, like, and where you just see like, oh gosh, like this is so different than like, you know, the book or album reviews that we're used to seeing of just like 7 stars, here's what I didn't like about it, here's the good stuff, and like where this is just like feelings and all of this sort of coalescing into this critique of a great work. And it's the sort of review that works of that level garner, you know, like it's I just did a review of a James Baldwin book and mentioned like it feels silly for me to do that. Like, it's so over the top good and historical and impactful that for me to come say, there are parts in it like it doesn't even make sense. And so like when he reviews things, it feels like he is working in the same league in a way, and that's always been kind of entrancing to me. What I also like about his work is that oftentimes he's discovering or discussing not necessarily works that I don't know, like I expect that, like I can't have known all this art and plays and everything that he reviews, but he is discussing things in such a sort of like high society or academic way that is uniquely not off-putting. I'm certainly not in those circles. I read, but I read for fun and to learn like weird science stuff. I'm not pushing far in academia, and you know, I went to community college for like 3 semesters and dropped out. I was never a good student, and like oddly enough, where he's coming from should be the most like off-putting thing, or the most like, God, this just feels like schoolwork, and like I'm just not, I haven't been sort of groomed to understand this stuff, but it's not. It's really, it doesn't make me feel like my worldview is narrow. It feels like this is how I expand it. And Teju Cole, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, has always done that for me, and I just so appreciate his writing, whether it's a paragraph or a novel. Like, I just feel like there's insights in there that are gratuitously passed off, not like labored to understand and dissect. And it's not to say that they're simplistic by any means, but it's just that perfect balance of educated and educating. And I just really love his writing. I thought this, because I think I just saw like a little like 2 or 3 sentences of like what it is, like why he's publishing it now. And so like I thought it was a little bit more like reflective modern times, like why he's feeling these things in light of everything. And there's certainly some of that in there in relation to the border crisis and things of that nature, but it's really more like things that could have been published 10 years ago or 10 years from now, possibly. But I just really like, I mean, now like that feels like a bucket list thing I want to have now, of like go see like a Caravaggio painting in person. Like that's, and that meant so much to him, and the way he felt when he stood there and all these things, like it's I think we all live lives majorly influenced by art, but to have or it be such a guiding like principle of your life. I think that's something I really took away from this, and I also appreciate his social commentary as well, like that, where there, especially in the back third of the book, maybe there's more of that, and it's not this sort of like current event like reaction to specific things happening. It's a general like understanding of the way things are going, and acknowledging what's been happening, what's happening now, where these things are going, and like it's just really well put together. I mean, there's some images in the middle to kind of represent what he's talking about, but then other times where it's probably best to do a little quick Google search and see the image that he's discussing. But man, just another great Teju Cole book on the shelf. If you don't have any Teju Cole on your shelf, start. I promise you will enjoy it.